Hello everyone, I just wanted to shoot a quick video of my Harbor Freight greenhouse. Not many people post pictures of what it actually is size-wise as comparison to having stuff in it. I've recently built a Dutch bucket system in there, and I've had an insane amount of success with it. So I'm just going to go through a couple quick things. This is kind of like just my first starter video, and we'll go from there. But I purchased the Harbor Freight 10 by 12. It's very big, a lot larger than you'd think, but I live in a smaller backyarded area, and it fits perfectly in the corner, so you don't have to have too much space to really set one up. Now I've made a ton of improvements to it. Even where I live, which is in Huntington Beach, California, we got some winds that nearly tore the thing down. So a lot of structural additions, as well as you can see there, a ventilation addition. So we'll go in right now and we'll take a look at the Dutch bucket system that I've built. And as you can see right off the get-go, there's an insane amount of growth. These are cucumber plants. The one on the very right here is a tomatillo plant, and these were all purchased at Home Depot as little seedlings, and this growth here is about, I would say, 7 or 8 feet of growth up. It's actually coming back down now, and they all started out as 2-inch seedlings 3 or 4 weeks ago. So you can see how insane the growth is. And if you get in here, we can kind of start to see everything starting to flower and start to get some cucumbers going here. I've tried to grow cucumbers before in the dirt, and I've had some success, but this is beyond incredible when it comes to the growth that I've seen. I was getting a little frustrated because nothing was growing in the dirt. It was just kind of fluffing up, put some mediocre sized fruit out, and then nothing else. But after I installed this Dutch bucket system, MHPgardener's method, basically, I watched a lot of his videos and was inspired. So I'll give you a rundown of what mine is. It's basically the same setup. I've got 4-gallon square buckets, and I go around in a U shape to maximize my spacing inside the greenhouse. Now I wasn't expecting the growth that I got out of these, so my advice would be to space them out a little bit more, but these are all pepper plants, all started off very small, and in fact a lot of them were dying in the dirt, and once I transferred them over to the Dutch buckets, they got very dark green and just blew up. Jalapenos, Anaheim chili peppers, bell peppers, and then some tomatoes over here. The tomatoes were amazing because everything started off this size right here, and this is about a month of growth right here, and it's just huge, and you can see how thick the stalks are as they go up. So I know it's kind of a lot to take in here, so I'm just kind of going with what I've done. I've run this line from the bucket, just a screw right here, all the way up, tied it off to the ceiling, and got the tomato clips. I had to buy them on Amazon, but these things are amazing because they don't really attach to the plant, but they hold on to the string really well, so you can you can go in there and string up as much as you can. You can see up in the cucumbers there, I've just got, let's find some, they're just clipped everywhere, holding everything together. But it's not constraining the growth or anything like that. So anyway, back to the Dutch bucket system. I've got a 47-gallon Green Horizon container there, and that holds the nutrient solution. What's really nice about these is they've come with these little cup holders on the top. I don't know, sodas, whatever they're supposed to hold, but it makes a perfect 2-inch hole that you could cut out of it and put your drain and your feed lines and air lines out of it. There's the air pump, and then inside you can see I've just got the water pump that distributes the water to the feeder line here, and then goes into the individual buckets. I'll turn it on real quick. I've got it set on a timer. I had a problem with the digital one. It stopped working or would reset itself, so I just went and bought a basic mechanical one, and it works fine. It goes off 3 times a day for 30 minutes, and I'll just put it on manual mode, and you can hear everything kick in there. Put that back down so it doesn't spill out everywhere. And I've got a really powerful pump. I've got the Eco 1056 is what I use, and that's because I've got a lot of buckets here. So you can see it feeding out, and I actually like to keep it blowing right onto the root system. Now, it does grow the algae on top of the perlite, which is a little not attractive, but doesn't seem to harm the plants. And I feel like when I was doing it this way over just stuffing it to the bottom, I was getting better growth for the smaller plants that the roots may have not been growing so deep into the deep water culture part yet. So anyway, so that's kind of what I do, and you can see it starting to pour out here. Now I leave it up a little bit. You can obviously put it down into the bucket system or into the container here, but you know, I kind of like to see it. I want to make sure it's flowing. I want to make sure nothing's jamming it up. Once you get going in full, it really starts pouring out of there. But it's just an amazing system. I built all this myself. PVC, the grommets, everything basically from Home Depot. I'm going to give another little view here. And it was my first time. I had zero experience doing it. I had not really much gardening experience either. But the solution in the water pouring over the roots and just this whole basic system is quite amazing, to tell you the truth. So if you're debating going from like soil and fertilizer to this type of system, I highly recommend it. And after seeing this video, if you don't do it, it's a foolish thing, because these cucumber plants speak for themselves. Just the size and the amount of fruit that it's going to put out. These plants are this large, and they're just now starting to flower and start to grow the cucumbers. Now, anytime I had cucumbers in the dirt before, they started flowering after being about 1 foot, 2 feet tall. So my take on it is that this is a healthier plant, and that here's a good one right here, a little one. But my take is that it's a healthier plant and grew to its potential, and then started putting the flowers out for fruiting. So other than that, I guess we'll kind of call it quits for the day. I'll give you a tip on the nutrient solution that I use. It's this right here. It's Dyna-Gro Liquid Grow Plant Food, 795, and I get this at a local hydroponics store. I'm sure you can get it online somewhere. You know, a lot of guys are saying you got to do it in stages. You got to have the grow, then you got to have the flower, then you got to have the bloom. I'm not sure if that's the right order, but I don't seem to have a problem just sticking with that one. You know, it's working. So unless I start to get mediocre sized fruit or something like that, I won't change it. Everything's insanely healthy, except for this plant right here. It's got a couple dry leaves on it, but you know, it's putting the fruit out really well. And so I just pruned the heck out of it, and I probably shocked it a little bit. But it's getting its drink of nutrient water right now, and it should be back on its feet in no time. So just a couple quick things on the Harbor Freight greenhouse. These are the additions I made structurally. I put bought some conduit right there, 3/4 inch conduit, and ran it horizontally. Before I had that, the structure was, I mean, you could shake it back and forth and it felt like it was going to just fall down. When it got really heavy winds, the panels were blowing out. It created a pressure in here, and then they would blow out the sides. and then the whole thing was rocking back and forth like it just, you know, it was a big sail basically. So I put those in, and it made an instant difference. This thing is like a rock now. The other thing I did was I did not put it on the metal frame. I actually went and got some 4x4s and built the unit directly onto the wood frame, and that obviously weighs it down. That other frame was extremely flimsy and worthless in my opinion. This vent fan, it does get very hot in here. I'm in California, so it doesn't seem like you'd really need a greenhouse, but obviously everything benefits the plants in a controlled environment. I went and got this you know, attic vent right here. I just put a little chain, drilled a hole, and that allows me to open and close it to allow me to get some good air from the outside in, cool down everything a little bit. The fan's adjustable in case I want to blow up or blow down. The vents are closed right now, but once it's a little overcast, once the sun comes out, it's going to be insanely hot in here. So that's a great addition. Plus, it allows a lot of CO2 to get in. You got to remember the plants need CO2 and not just oxygen, because that's what they're creating in here. Other than that, on the outside, you can see just kind of how big the greenhouse is now. You got to take into consideration the plants are off the walls, so maybe make a little tighter in here, but when it's empty, the thing's actually pretty good size. And I've got a gap in the back there because I originally built this to have wood boxes running, you know, this way, so it was deep enough. So eventually I'll probably drop these down a little bit because I wasn't expecting things to get so tall. But I'll probably cut the tables down, shorten them up, push them more to the walls so I have more room in here, and maybe even run something up the middle. So that's pretty much my improvements on the inside. I did put a light fixture up there that obviously benefits the when I come out here at night if you're going to get some fruit for dinner or something like that, or vegetables. And kind of the funny part about this system is, you know, I'm no genius of electrical or anything like that. Basically what I've done is I've got a power box back there, and that's just attached to an extension cord. Don't know if it's the safest thing to do, but it does have a breaker in there and a surge protector. So if it decides it wants to crap out one day, it shouldn't blow up or catch on fire, but it's basically just run off of an extension cord that's attached to the house. So if you're thinking, oh, I got to plumb it, I've got to wire it, you don't have to do that. One good thing, make sure you get yourself some ladybugs, because the aphids in California right now are going crazy, but not too bad. Alright, we'll go outside and I'll show you what I did to the panels. And this is very important because they'll start blowing out once it gets windy. So I just took basically a roofing nail, roofing screw, self-tapping, and it's got that little rubber washer in there, right into the, through the panel, into the metal, and that secures them good enough to where they won't fly off. Basically, when it got windy, the wind was hitting the front side here and would create pressure inside and then would blow these side panels off, and I watched as I was trying to hold the whole thing down, one of those panels blow out, fly over that house and into the street. So it's very important to have the panels secure, and I did 3 screws actually, because I didn't want them to bend. So I got one up there, one in the middle, and one down below. And I also have them on the roof panels, as you can see there. I just have one up there. Those didn't seem to be affected as much as the side ones. Probably just the angle of them helped it out. So anyway, there you go. There's just a quick demo of the Harbor Freight greenhouse in a smaller backyard in a beach city. Not only is it, fun and nice to have your own vegetables growing in there, but it's actually quite a tranquil experience to go in. I was never into gardening or growing things, but I find myself in this greenhouse 10 to 15, 20 times a day sometimes, just kind of hanging out in there, making sure everything's going well, pruning, hand pollinating a lot of those cucumbers because there's no bees in there obviously. But highly recommend it. Harbor Freight greenhouse, you can get them pretty cheap. Pain in the butt to build, look for improvements and get that Dutch bucket system going, because it's pretty sweet. Thanks for watching.